Welcome to PTGtv. This is your host, Antonio Hicks, aka Escaping the Matrix, back with John Jersey Ketcherix. Happy New Year's, brother.
Happy New Year's, happy Festivus, happy holidays. How's it going, man?
Oh, I'm good, man. Like we were talking off camera, yeah, I'm a little mentally exhausted, but I'm excited for this new year because I came into it with some new aspirations. So yeah, the latter part of the year, busy for me.
Yeah, did you do any traveling?
I didn't do any travel. I had my oldest son in town, but what I did was we had like both the families together. So I had my mom up here, and with my wife's, her family was up here too, and we all did the holiday thing for Christmas together, and then for New Year's we went to our best friend's house, Dr. Seals, and we all hung out there and watched the Georgia game, which they almost lost, which they should have lost, and ushered in the New Year with that.
I should have lost. I went to school at University of Georgia, and so yeah, we escaped. You know, I can say. I got student loan payments, so I'm a Georgia fan, even though I go by Georgia. Yes, I'm not a homer. Sure. I'm not one of those guys like, what's the team we root for? I'll be a Yankee fan, of course. That's not hard. Like, no, I went to school at University of Georgia. I'm allowed to be a fan. And yes, whoops, we won.
They cast so much witchcraft at the end of that game to make that kicker miss that ball.
Oh man. I was this close to being in the backyard of a friend's house, about to sit there and find a chicken to sacrifice. So that's awesome. What's your family's schedule for Christmas? Do you have any traditions or?
Well, no, I mean we
What are your thoughts?
So I'm not. I mean, you know how. We're not overly, well, when it comes to Christmas, we don't do traditional stuff like we used to, because I mean, all of us are grown. So we tend to, because my parents are older, as much as my parents piss me off, we still get together around the house. As much as my parents, especially my mom, piss me off. I love my mom to death, and I'll fight anybody for her. But between us, yeah, my mom pisses me off like tomorrow. So, but it's the holidays, so I don't like anybody spending the holidays alone. So either I would go down, or I would always go down. It's because no matter what the case is, I'm always going down.
Going down where?
To Macon, Georgia.
Okay, there you go.
So I mean, they used to live up here, but they back in Macon where I come from, and we all grew up at. So, but this year we want to do something different. We was like, well, I ain't going to Macon. So I got him a hotel room up here, and before everybody asks, or why the hell they ain't stay in your house? I have a 2-story house. I have no bedrooms on the bottom level. All of my bedrooms on the top level. I mean, I have 4 bedrooms, so it is space upstairs. But my mom has a issue with going up and down stairs, so there's no way for her to even go up and around in my house. So I got her a hotel room at the Hampton Inn up off of 124 with my Hilton point. Shout out to Hilton, because I have a Hilton membership.
Well, that's good. So so what's your? I know, I mean, that way. I don't know, Christmas means something different to everyone else. Like, everyone thinks, there's kids' Christmas and there's all kinds of obligations. Everyone does it differently.
It's a commercial holiday.
I'm the same way. There's no wrong answer. It's an excuse to get together, and that's enough for us.
I'm about family. Yeah. So with me, because of who I am, everybody in my life, they get spoiled throughout the year. Like, everybody in my life gets spoiled throughout the year. I don't care if you best friends or not. Everybody gets, we buy each other things. We do buy each other things throughout the course of the year. So come the holidays, especially my boys, they don't know what the hell to ask for because they got everything. So it's and then we have trouble of that. Like, their mom and I trying to figure out what the hell to even get them, because literally I bought them everything, or if I didn't buy it for them, they bought it themselves. So it's like, that's why I'm like, to me, it's not about gifts. To me, it's about spending time together. Like, my oldest son was down there from Michigan, and he hadn't been down here in almost a year.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted him to come down so he could spend some time with his grandparents And just so he can be home again, because I'm the one now. I've seen him because I go to Michigan, but his grandparents don't travel like that, so he needed to get down here to see his grandparents.
Yeah,
and to spend some time down here. Where he's
how old is he?
Alex will be turning. He's 20. He'll be turning 21 in a couple of weeks.
Woo! Okay, I hear you, man. No, I understand all those things. Like when you don't have the kids, like I'm with you. Like it's a good excuse to get together for family, but who needs an excuse to buy someone a present? Like you said, if your family, if people you care about, if you're probably taking care of them throughout the year.
Yeah,
right. You're not gonna load up.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's a blessing for me because not most people can do that. Everybody, you save up to have like a major holiday, and I wasn't always like that. Yeah. But yeah, people typically, you work overtime for those that do the commercial holidays, and they save up money to get gifts and stuff around. So the kids, whatever they wanted, they get it for them around Christmas time. Whereas for me, I've been blessed enough to, I make enough to where if I see something they would like, then I try to get it for them. Yeah. Throughout the course of the year.
Right. I'm with you as far as that's concerned. Like at Christmas, it could be, it's a designated day, I guess, because everyone has off when things close, so I get that.
Yeah.
But it's like my family. Like when I left, my family obviously from New Jersey, and so I left the brood when I graduated high school, and so we never had to have Christmas on Christmas Day. It was just whenever we just designated a day, and just so we'd all get together. There was an excuse, right, for me, my sister, my mom, and dad to get together. It might as well be Christmas, whatever it is. The one thing I will say though, I have a niece and nephew. When I went up to Jersey, did some traveling, and there is something cool about like the Munchkin that's 8 years old, and oh my god, like coming down, like waking me up, like Santa showed up. That's cool. I get a kick out of that.
Also, they still do Santa.
Yeah.
I never did Santa.
Yeah.
I didn't want anybody taking my thunder. I never did Santa. I didn't want anybody taking my thunder. I'm being dead serious about that. I told my kids when they got a bed, I was like, Santa is not real. I'm like, I bought this stuff.
Hey man, I'm a car carrying atheist, so I'm not one to talk about anything. But yeah, that was so our thing was I made a point. I always make a point. I'm the lone uncle, solo dude without a wife, kids. My sister has 2 kids. So I make a point to go up to Jersey. That's where they're at. And so I actually had to cook dinner. So I was the one that cooked Christmas dinner for them, and there was 2 other families. And so I was the one.
And what part of Jersey are you from?
The easiest way I put it is like I grew up in New Milford, New Jersey, which is it's between Hackensack and Paramus.
Okay.
And it's the easiest way. It's 7 miles west of Times Square.
Oh, okay.
So it's right there, like literally right there.
So you're close to Jersey Shore.
Well, everywhere is Jersey Shore.
I can't say everywhere.
Well, it's extreme northeast. Northeast. Go up 95. It's the last exit before New York City. Okay. And I love the Jersey Shore, but I just hate that show. I just freaking hate it.
Because I think about. Like when I think about it, I don't even think about the show. Like the University of New Jersey, it's right there in a little small city. Because I had a conference there too. It's right there in a small city where it's surrounded by a ton of restaurants, and it sits there right there on the shoreline. That is beautiful. Like y'all listening in, if y'all ever in Jersey and y'all want to go see like the little monuments over there, go to where the University of New Jersey is and go to it's a restaurant. I forget the name of the restaurant, but you can go out onto like the actual rooftop. Oh my God, it's beautiful at night.
The shore is legit. That's the one thing. Like again, it gets a bad name. I always say the Jersey Shore is to Jersey what Honey Boo Boo is to Georgia.
Oh God!
Right? Everyone thinks that's Georgia. No, everyone
it is not Georgia.
The show is like Jersey. No, but if you go to the shore, the thing I like about the Jersey Shore, it's the beach, but it has the boardwalk, and it's and so there's stuff there. You can there's activities you can do, and it's all the way down, and so there's all kinds of really cool like mom and pop restaurants and food, and so that's what it's about. That's what I dig for sure. I definitely that's what I grew up with. But yeah, but I'm an extreme northeast. I'm more like a New York suburb. Mm-hmm. And so my gig was just to go up there and cook dinner and then do the Christmas Day thing, and then try my best to find a way back with all the the planes and the.
I was gonna say, how did that go? Did you got delayed?
So straight up canceled.
Oh, okay.
It was canceled. So I was in Southwest. That's not kind of the route, but it was. My sister got me. That was her gift to me. Was like, all right, for gifts, I'm gonna buy you a plane ticket. All right, great, whatever.
Okay.
Right. So I went. By the way, I'm a seasoned traveler. I've flown to 4 continents. I know that I got the platinum card for Delta. I know I'm on my way around an airport. And so she bought me a ticket on Spirit Airlines.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not.
The look on your face says it all.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those the gifts that keep on giving.
Oh yeah, it doesn't stop. So it's Southwest Junior. And so and here's a little tip. Here's a little thing. If you do those budget airlines, is that you don't understand that they charge for everything.
Every single thing.
Every single, you get nickel dime all the transport. So take a wild guess. Obviously nowadays it takes they charge you for checking your bags now.
Yep.
Take a wild, just shot in the dark. How much it costs to check your bag for Spirit Airlines?
Now, probably about $50.
It was $70.
They upped the price?
So it was for me. This was last couple weeks ago.
Oh, shucks. To check a bag?
Each way, by the way.
Yeah, because Delta only charges $30.
Right, 30's kind of standard.
Yeah.
By the way, they charge you for carry-on bags. Like, just the carry on. So, guess how much the carry-on bag fee was?
I want to say 40 or 50.
80. It was more to carry it on than to check it. I'm not kidding.
So I gotta ask. I don't mean no disrespect towards your sister. Why didn't she just go with like Delta or something? I'm a Delta person. Why didn't she just go with like Delta?
I think all it was that it's a budget airline, first time using it. Oh look, cheap plane ticket.
Oh, okay. But she didn't look at the fine print with all the other charges.
Oh, right. So and then $5 for a bottle of water, like for a drink of any kind, for a cube of ice when you're in the thing. They get $10 gets for security. It was brutal. I
can't believe they charge $80 for just a carry on now.
Oh yeah, but funnily, never mind how. That's exorbitant, but it was more to carry it on than it was to check it, which seemed weird.
Yeah.
Normally when you we go to Delta, right? You check it, you get $30. To carry on, it's free.
It's free, yeah.
Right.
You allow 2 bags to carry on the plane.
Yeah, you have the personal item, and then carry. But yeah, and also, I got lucky because it's also by dimensions and weight. So.
Oh yeah, you got to be able to stick it into that little that thing to make sure it doesn't exceed a certain amount of the width of
So the dimensions are one thing. All right, move. I mean, it's kind of standardized. Like when you have these hardcore rollers and all those, so it's pretty standard. But by the weight was weird. I did not. I'm a light dude. I'm a single dude now. I pack pretty light, but I still have my carrying bag. And it was the weight limit was 40 pounds. My bag, which was not stuffed, was the only reason why I even weighed that much was I had some gifts for the niece and nephew. Was 39.5 pounds. So I just barely made it. If it was 41 pounds, it's double the price.
Huh?
We could pop for another 70. Oh my God. So, point being, all right, I think there's a way to use those budget airlines. I think if you're doing a day trip, like 24 hours, you're not staying, you're going there and back. Okay, I get it. But if you're gonna fly, it's just not worth it. You're just getting killed. You might as well pay for you're not making your money on that.
No, even when you talk about comfort though, because for me, Spirit is like you riding in lawn chairs. Because they're not comfortable at all.
Yeah. It's a sardine can. That's just all it is.
Yeah.
And so made the big news with all the cancellation in Southwest. There's a trickle down effect, and so about my flight was supposed to leave, and I talked to you about this already. Last week when it happened. Last Wednesday, and I'll be honest, it canceled, and I had to fight for about a day and a half, 2 days. It's been basically 48 hours trying to find my way back. Now, I was lucky that I have my sister. I'm at my sister's house. So, like, a lot of people have all these devastating stories of, like, missing weddings and all these things. You're just screwed. But I was basically playing airport bingo for about 48 hours trying to get home just in time to see Georgia barely win. Like, on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, somebody else I know, what is her name? You probably know her from, well, she's up in Woodstock, but she hangs around, like, the Gwinnett and Grand. What's her name? It's Katie? I think it's Katie, something. But she went to New York because she and I was supposed to had met to talk about future stuff with the politics and whatever. But she went to New York and, like, she said she had to rent her a car and drive back because all of her stuff got canceled.
Right. Like I said, I was lucky just because I'm at my sister's house. So, like, all right, well, it got canceled. I just go back to my sister. No big deal.
Yeah.
I was fine. And that's what I ended up doing. But I can only imagine. And also, like I said, I can crack the code. So I'm seasoned. So, like, I can do it from my sister's house. It was canceled. I bought, one thing I made her do was buy the insurance, the travel insurance.
Yeah.
Which I normally don't care about. But I was like, this is a little hinky. And so, like, all right, Delta, come back and come rescue me.
Yeah, because weren't there complaints talking about they weren't giving out refunds?
Dude, like, it was...
I think it was one of them. They said they weren't giving out refunds for people's flights that got missed.
Got missed? They said, just good luck. They said, all right. Oh, yeah, you're like, so we got your money. Your flight's canceled. And they just shrugged it off, like, all right, well, like, dude, I need to get home. Like,
yeah.
I need to go. Like,
right.
Too bad. Like, well, I mean, I now, like, and we're talking about a full week later. Like, it was there were 90% disruptions.
Yeah, it was terrible.
About 70% of all flights in America every single day. And that's the rollover effect, right?
Yeah.
All those people on Sunday, those got canceled. Well, they can't now. They got to fly on Monday, but those flights are canceled too. So both those days are still stuck. And it was, I think, like the last figure, I think, was about 18,000 flights. I want to say just Southwest. And so that's a big problem. And me being Spirit, what I can understand is that the budget airlines had that overlap effect. And so I was Spirit, they have Delta. Everyone else had their shit together. A bunch of guys.
This is why everybody should fly Delta. My kids flew back on December 28th, go spend New Year's with their mom.
Yeah.
And they breezed through the airport in like 10 minutes. Flight didn't get delayed enough. Oh, do you have clear? Like, do you have the TSA pre-check stuff or?
My sister does, and I'm going to do it next time because I almost missed my flight going out.
Yeah. And I have clear too. I never thought about getting that until when did I bought it?
So what is the difference between clears? I'm going to tell you one last thing before I go. But so we have for those who don't know, they have everyone knows about airport security. It sucks.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get frustrated. I have dropped my pants. I got all kinds of stories about me having to get stuck. I literally had to drop trowel in front of everybody because I was wearing knee brace. I was wearing all those an ace bandage around my left knee. And so they just pulled me aside, like they go through security. I stand over here. I'm like, okay, you do what this is a place you don't mess around. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And like they put me aside for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm like, dude, I'm about to miss my flight. What's going on? Like, we're trying to find a room so we can analyze what's going on here in your knee. Like I was like, I'm wearing a knee brace. Like, well, there's a growth there. We have to inspect it first. It's like, I literally had no time. I was like, listen, I'm going to drop my pants right now. My flight's about to go. I didn't have time to find, like, you've been putting me in the side here, not telling what's going on. Like, so I literally dropped trowel with my hard underwear, showing everybody, like, they got right next to me are the people putting their shoes back on. I'm like, I just went, boom, going down my ankles. Knee brace. Cool? All right, I'm out. But anyway, so what's the difference? So we have regular security, which sucks.
Yeah.
96% failure rate. No big deal. And then for the Joe Traveler, we have two other options are TSA Plus and Clear, right?
Yeah.
So what are those differences?
And first class. I didn't know there was a separate first class line, but if you have first class, you have your own little place where you board at. So if you got the money for it, you got the service to go along with it too. So you have a privilege. So Clear is the same thing as almost like the TSA pre-check. Like you get to go in before everybody else. You don't have to wait in a long line. Both of them are paid services. So, I mean, you won't go back. You won't fail on either one of them. But I like Clear because Clear is almost at all the airports. I don't know if the TSA PreCheck is at all airports, but I know Clear is at almost like all the airports throughout the whole country. It's a one-time, you pay an annual fee, and you can get up to like 4 family members on there without having to pay anything extra. So for the whole year, I think it's like $230. But if you travel a lot, totally worth it. Totally worth it. Because the line, sometimes even when the line is long, the line is moving. The line is like, it's like bam, 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 bam. And to me, I'm not gonna lie, I think they just let some stuff slide in the Clear line that they do not let slide over in regular TSA check-in services. Because the line, to me, the line is moving way too fast for to be checking your luggage as opposed to your regular TSA stuff. And so, you know, I got it because I was traveling a lot. Yeah, I was traveling a lot last year, going back and forth to Michigan and then doing other stuff, like with my oldest son, getting him checked into doggone freaking Michigan State. So for me, I'm like, I'm not waiting in these because traveling last year was terrible too. So once I signed up for it, I did a trial for it for like 90. They give you a 90-day trial. I did a 90-day trial, and I was like, I actually like this. And then I got my kids on there, so they was breezing through it too. So I was like, well, I can pay for this for the whole goddamn family. Yeah. And I was like, we can get anything, and I don't have to be there. Like once you're on a family plan, they can go and fly. Like my youngest just flew back yesterday. You can go in the airport and walk straight through Clear, and you're good to go.
That's awesome. Like, well, I understand. Like, I'm familiar with it. Like I said, my sister has the TSA PreCheck, and all that is, it's like it's like the TSA does a pre-background check on you. Mm-hmm. But they have your file, like they've already done it before you get to the airport, where they're like, all right, we've established you're on the list of people that we don't suspect of to be doing shenanigans, so you can carry your lotion on. We don't care. Like, the shampoo police is out there, of course. And so that's why I understand the TSA is. Clear is, I think, is a third-party contractor, and basically these two are just fast passes.
Yeah, fast passes. Yeah.
And that's what, like, go to Disney World. Don't go to Disney World or any other theme park without buying fast pass. It's not worth it. And I would sometimes think like, man, what if everybody started buying it? Line gonna be just as long. So is it worth it? I've only had it happen one time. I think we were flying out to where we going to? To Vegas, and the line was somewhat long, but it still was moving so fast to where it moved faster than regular TSA. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I get stories. The TSA, I mean, there's a couple of times where I actually went on. Their failure rate is so amazing. I flew to Brazil once, and my buddy accidentally brought a sword onto the plane with him. You accidentally brought a sword onto the plane? It was like a retractable sword. It was. I was going to Rio, and my buddy was getting married. He was marrying actually a Brazilian citizen, so that it wasn't like a thing. I was like, she's Brazilian, and so we're going to her house in Brazil, where her family, and just get married. And so he just, when you're in Brazil, like Rio is a much more dangerous country, so you have to have like a knife or something. Yeah. So he had this blade about this big, about 6 inches. Orange retractable, like basically it's like a box cutter that's just man sized, like a sword. And he thought he put it on the check bag, but he didn't. And we're over the Atlantic Ocean, and we're like, oh my god, he's looking for his iPad. He's like, and he pulls this thing. We're right in the they didn't catch it. And then no, like, put that fucker back, like, dude. Yes. Oh my god. I'm like, oh my god, dude, we're over the whatever. Yes. And so they didn't catch that. But the funny part about that story is on the way back, we're super self-conscious about it. And so we're like, we're putting this in the check baggage. Well, there was another long story, but we were out for 48 hours because they canceled flights and we had to figure it out. So we go back to the United States from Rio to Miami to Jacksonville. And we had to recheck our bags to get to Jacksonville. So we're in the United States. All right. And we're around the corner from going back in security, and we're like, God damn it. This is the bag we checked like in Rio that has the sword in it. We're about to go through security, like, fuck it. We're like, it was checked, but now we have to check it, and we messed up. Like, oh, god damn it. Screw it. And so we've been messed with, and they gave us, like, they said, you two, go ahead and go to the front of the line. Like they pulled us aside.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool. We got a break. We've been messed with for 48 hours in airports. And then they gave us tubs for our shoes and everything, and they were red. Never seen that before. You know what this was? The random check.
Oh no!
For the super search, which is totally cool because this is like totally profiling, but it's reasonable. 2 white guys coming from South America, and we looked rough. We didn't smell good. We were up for 48 hours. We're all geeked out on caffeine. Like, I would search me. Like the first time we ever agreed with a TSA decision. Yeah, I get it. So they do a hand search, and then they're swabbing armpits. They're interviewing where you're coming from. That's what And we're like, dude, we've just been messed with 48 hours. We're just trying to get back home. Like, oh my God, this happened. My buddy just got married, and his wife is on a different plane. Oh my God. Well, okay, we'll have a nice day. Never found the knife. Like we got on the next plane with a sword.
Yeah, I've had it happen one time, but not at Hartsfield though. I had it happen at Detroit, and then I had it happen at Langley up in New York. Wow. And I was like, I had a pocket knife. Now my pocket knife was a particular out of metal. It wouldn't get set off through the alarms.
Right.
So I'm thinking at least, when you do the little scan and they always catch my necklace or my watch. If they pat me down, they was gonna catch the knife. Never caught a knife.
Yep. Yeah.
But now Hartsfield? Nah, not Hartsfield. I don't think I've ever got anything outside of cameras and stuff. Like I'm too scared to bring a knife on because I've heard horror stories of people accidentally bringing weapons and now they got to get held up for 2 and 3 hours.
And it's like it's worse with shampoo or bottle openers. I mean, just like I said, I've gone through with swords, but they pulled me aside and searched me for my knee brace, and I had an extra bottle opener on my keychain once, and they tore me aside as a suspicious character. So I was a bartender. I was like, just take it, it's free.
Yeah.
Put light on it. What do I care?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like with all those you're talking about, like the fast passes, it's necessary. When I left from Atlanta to Newark the week before Christmas, and I got there 3 hours ahead of time. I had a 6:20 flight, and I got there at 3:30, so I was way ahead of time. Like I was up. I barely made the flight because of security. I mean, security was about 2.5 hours long. I got on the flight about 2:10 or 6:10, excuse me. And about half my flight, it was fully booked. About half my flight did not make the flight. All this security was about almost 3 hours.
Wow. Yeah, you gotta get clear. But I mean, then again, we did have these severe storms going on too.
That day was I was on the bookend day. I was the day before the storm, so it had nothing to do with anything. It was just security. Those I
won't go back to peasant life again. I know what the good life is about. Going through clear.
I'm with like there's once you realize it, like, all right, yeah, that's the fast pass for that. I haven't done it yet, and I'm going to have to because
I used to get mad. I mean, I was one of the people that got mad behind it. I was like, why do people get an added benefit for paying for something? I'm like, what about regular folks? Like, why do we have to wait in these long, exhaustive lines and they doing all this extensive searching on our stuff? But because you paid for a service, you just get to pop on through. But when you got to go somewhere and you finally go pay for it, just you say, "Oh wow, I see why." I'm gonna keep paying for it so I can breeze through.
Absolutely. It's a weird one, but I thought about that. I remember kind of arguing with somebody who was living in Atlanta. Like we have the Easy Pass, Atlanta, the Peach Pass, right?
Yeah.
Like in every other state I've ever been to, like driving through, there's toll roads, and just you get off at the fifth exit, you pay this much money for it, or it's 75 cents, whatever it is. Everyone pays the same amount. It bothers me that Atlanta has that fast pass lane on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Where like, all right, well, like I can afford to pay, 40 cents a mile on this. And that's a public road. That bothers me.
Right. And then it's not even guaranteed that you're going to be able to breeze through it because other people pay for it too. Like that I would never pay for because traffic in Atlanta is traffic in Atlanta. Yeah. So it's like you're paying for something that you might reap the benefits of on the weekend sometimes. It's like you're really not getting any good use out of that.
Yeah. I have a problem with a public road where you're actually like slicing a fifth of the road off to people that can afford it.
Yeah, to make some money off of it, yeah.
But
you use taxpayer dollars to pay for the street. Yeah.
That bothers me. Whereas like the flight is optional. Like you don't have to fly. Right. You're paying for a luxury service. I can actually defend that, but like it bothers me when you go to, like I said, any other state in the country, dude. If you use the road, you pay a toll. It doesn't matter which plane you're in. Whereas this only Georgia, only Atlanta has that where you can wave at the plebes.
Right. So you got any New Year's resolutions trying to get done this year?
I'm iffy on resolutions. That's what did someone say to me today? Or got any promises to yourself you're willing to break? You're willing to break? No, I think yes. I'd like to do more media stuff. I'd like to do. I've had for those who don't know, I had the back issue, and so I've been trying to get back into the swing of things in daily life, and so. So just get back to the raising my professional level for sure. And then kind of a long one. Obviously we're talking about traveling. I'm a big travel monkey, anyways. Mm-hmm. Jersey's not travel. Family's not travel. No. It does not count.
No.
But I was talking to a buddy of mine. We kind of strangely agreed on a place we want to go to. So the next thing I want to do is get my passport sorted. So we have a destination in line. We want to hit Japan.
Okay.
So that's kind of like the big goal this year.
Okay.
Get the passport sorted, and before by the time this year, I have visited Japan, or at least some country of significance.
Yeah.
So outside the country, I love traveling. I love the United States, and I'll go see more of it. But whether it be, I've got my eye on Iceland, Japan, and Scotland for some strange reason. Yeah. But one of the things, a buddy of mine just happened to say it. Like, yeah, we're both on the same page. So that's kind of right in the front row. Those are kind of my big goals this year. How about you?
I don't. So I'm not big on. I'm like you. I'm not big on resolutions because I have goals that I set, but I know a lot of people can say, well, goals are almost the same as a resolution. I'm like, nah, because it's goals that I've been working on since last year. So for me, it's kind of like you. Like I want to really. I talked about it. What we talked about on the last episode too. And I published another episode while he's in Jersey to finalize the new year. I really want to push, PTGtv to an actual media company. All this is breaking it up in different segments and having a radio segment, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, whatever. I just want to have just one big media company and do it from there, which is what we're doing with the in-person studio audience and then the recordings and stuff. And that's what I want to do. And then, outside of that, I want to have, I've gotten my business started and really push more towards picking up clients to do content creation for other people and other businesses and major corporations and stuff. And then traveling, I'm definitely doing. I'm getting ready to do some traveling in the next couple of weeks. We're going to the what is it? Sundance, the Sundance Movie Festival.
Oh wow! Okay, that's impressive. Okay.
So doing that January 19th to flying back on the 23rd, and then my best friend Dr. Seals and I, we're going out to Barbados in March because the missus, she going on a girls trip, and I was like, I don't think it's fair that you get to go on a girls trip, and I've been told I can't go on a guys trip.
That is not fair. You're correct. Yes.
And so I'm like, if you're going somewhere, I'm going somewhere. And I don't have a whole bunch of guy friends. Technically speaking, you've only one person that I've hung out with. My other, not to say, I do have other guy friends. I have my couple of best friends. I love them to death. They've known me since I was freaking 19 years old. I love these guys to death, but they're not there. They're not in the financial place to where I can say, hey bro, you want to go fly out somewhere and them have the extra money to go and do it.
Right.
So she was like, well, if you want to go somewhere, you can go hang out with Dr. Seals. And I'm just like,
oh, now she's writing your guest list for you.
She never did. So we're at Dr. Seals and now we're at the Commerce Club just talking, and then we were talking about it too. And she was like, what she said to you? I said, yeah. I said, she gave you the approval. Like, I can go hang out with you. She was like, well, hell, let's go somewhere. I was like, okay, where you want to go? Because I'm like, I got a Hilton membership. I was like, where you want to go? And she said, I want to go to Barbados. I was like, let's go to Barbados. So then my wife wanted to pitch a fit about that. She was like, how the hell you gonna go to Barbados without me? I'm like, same way the hell you going to Vegas and hang out with your girls without me. So
that's easy. That's an easy call. It's like, sorry.
Yeah, because I was like, either I'm gonna go with her or I'm going somewhere by myself. So I was like, you gonna have to pick one because I'm like, I'm a grown man. Anybody gonna tell me no? So I was like, either you gonna be here when I get home or you not. And I'm like, I know you're gonna go nowhere because I'm like, I ain't doing nothing.
Your kids are grown.
Yeah, my kids grown. Yeah, tell me what I'm not gonna do. And I say that to all husbands and wives out there: don't be telling your spouse what they're not gonna do because you're gonna find the one that you with that might test you. You're like, okay, well, I'm telling you where I'm gonna be at, so you can be here when I get back, or I know that you're just an uncomfortable, jealous person, and you won't be here when I get back. So whatever.
I'll say, like, that's the thing. It's healthy for a relationship, anyways. I know. Some of the most successful married couples I know, like, they make a point to be like, you go here, I go here, or whatever it is. We have to take, just on purpose they do it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, like, you take your weekend, go to the boys, do something. Or take your whip and go with the girls, do something. Don't care.
Yeah. Or hang out somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, for me, if I'm going in, like, I have a thing about vacation. So this is me when I travel. For those who want to know about me when I travel, I am not the tourist person. I am not trying to go on all the excursions. If I am going somewhere, especially if I'm trying to go somewhere with a beach, I am trying to relax and have a good drink in my hand. And if I get up and catch a show or I go catch an excursion, it's because I'm bored and I want to go do something different before I get back to where I was at in the beach with a drink in my hand.
True rest and relaxation.
Yes, I do. Like, we went to the Dominican Republic 2 years ago, like all of us, including Dr. Sis, all our best friends and stuff. And we rented out this little mini mansion. Now, we had already set the ground rules, like all of us, because it was a busy year. Matter of fact, me and my campaign and stuff. So Dr. Seal, she had a busy year working at the school. And then a lot of our other friends, where they had busy years with their jobs, we was like, yo, when we get to the Dominican Republic, we are grabbing some drinks and we are going to the beach and you're going to leave us alone. Well, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. Everybody want to go on excursions. And then we had a maid service. So they want to schedule the maid to come out and like do cooking and cleaning at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I do not go on vacation and wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning and eat breakfast at 8 o'clock. I was like, who the hell does that?
What the hell? Like,
yes.
Have to wait. You wake up and you. So how many people did you go on this trip with? You said Dr.
It was like, was it like 10 of us? I think it was like 10 of us.
Oh, that's way too many. Okay, yeah. So, all right. So the first rule of vacation is the best number is 2.
Yeah.
You can do it to 4, but that's about it. Because it's like going to Disney World, right? I want to ride this ride. And the bigger group of people you have, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm hungry. I mean, it doesn't matter how old you are. like they're all adults. Everyone gets split up. And so, like you said, like, oh man, Dominican Republic, like with 10 people, like they all want to pull your strings. Like, dude, I want a beach. It's FO.
Yeah.
The main service thing is really wonky me. Like, working me. It's like, dude, like, I check out in 3 days. Do the maid service then.
So I didn't. So this is us being bougie. I didn't mind it because they would come in and they would cook for us.
Oh, well, yeah.
They would cook and then they wanted to do breakfast and they wanted to do dinner. But I was like, I'm like, it's too many restaurants. Even though we should have said dinner because the buffets. I'm not a buffet person. The buffets was trash.
Right. Yeah.
So and it's on a resort too. I don't even like doing resorts. I'm like, I understand when you go to certain countries you have to for safety, but
yes, yeah.
For me,
you're circle compound. Like you're not in their country. You're in this one little fenced in safe place that happens to be in their country.
Right. But for me, it's like, she didn't have to come. It was a woman. I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess you could have got guys, but I'm just saying it's a woman. But she didn't have to come there early. But when it was like, okay, what time do y'all want her to come? I guess majority ruled. And it was like, they want to have her come out between like 8 and 9. I'm like, I'm on vacation. I don't want to wake up. I don't know. I'm not even a person that sleeps in.
Right.
Like, I am not a sleep in person because my body's so used to waking up so early in the morning. But I don't like to be So this is me too. This is another thing about me too. I don't like to be interrupted first thing in the morning. Like, I like to wake up, get my thoughts together, journal sometimes first thing. But my ritual every single morning is to get up, brush my teeth and stuff, put on some regular lounging clothes, come downstairs, brew a cup of coffee, get my journal out, and while the coffee is brewing, get signed into, this is work week, get signed into my computer. Once the coffee is done brewing, just sit back, finish journaling, catch up on some news, and then start working. Wow. Every single morning. On the weekends, it's almost the same exact thing, minus the work stuff. I get up, make my coffee, kick my feet up, catch up on some news, and then after that, that's when I start planning out my day. I don't want to do that on vacation. I don't want to come downstairs and somebody in there, hey, Mr. Hicks, and they're cooking a meal. Because now, if they're cooking, that means everybody else is coming down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, no. And I ain't no beef against my friend. I love all my friends.
Oh no,
it's just when I'm traveling somewhere, I want to, especially if I'm going somewhere that because I've been to Dominican Republic plenty of times. So for me, it's no place new. I just want to just kick back and just relax.
And this is all reasonable. Like, you're not living with them; you're going on vacation. Like, vacation is something different. Like, and the two things I'll say is, like, I think everyone has their own, like, morning routine or beginning of the day routine. Regardless when you wake up, the first hour is kind of scripted for me. I do a certain thing. You do this. I think everyone has their own little thing. But the same thing is, like, what you're saying. Like, man, if I'm on vacation, I don't want to have to wake up for anything.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
I don't want anything scheduled. I'll wake up when I wake up.
Yep.
And I don't have to have anything scheduled. Like, I've always been my favorite. My favorite vacation has been. There's been two things on the agenda: a time of arrival, and a time of departure.
Yep.
And that's it. like that's.
And that's why I like to travel in by myself, which is why I don't think my wife really understood it. Because I'm like, when I was traveling for work, I always would schedule 3 to 4 days. I would add 3 to 4 days into that travel.
Yeah.
And that way, I'm not, because I want to see the country I'm going to, clearly, because I took the job to go there. But I at least want to get up when I want to. Once I'm up, then I know where I want to go travel or walk around to and visit. And after that, I'm just relaxing and I'm just chilling. Yeah, and it's the same thing if I'm traveling. If I'm going on vacation somewhere, unless I'm purposely going there to do like some sightseeing or whatever. If I'm just going there to relax, that's what I want to just relax.
I'm with you. And that's where, like, the Dominican Republic, a lot of those places are. Like, I figured out, like, the way I travel is very similar. There are some times you hit a place, like the way I put it is like when I visited London, first time I was in London, I had like 3 days, and I went full Griswold, like, motivated the first day.
Yeah,
because you are in London, you got to see the Big Ben, Parliament,
yeah.
And so, like, I went Griswold, like, focused for about 8 hours, and just went Big Ben, Parliament, Globe Theater, Trafalgar Square, Buckingham Palace, go, then stop.
Yeah.
Go to the pub.
Yep.
and then the pub, just get that checklist out of the way, get it done, and then relax. And then you have, like, the best conversation if you travel. My favorite part about travel is going to a local pub.
Yep.
And talking to locals and having a beer with a guy next to me and be like, what is it like on Monday for you?
Yeah.
like those little differences between, local cultures, whether it be here in London or here in Dominican Republic or here in Japan, like I was talking about before, that's the most fascinating part. And I can give a rat's ass about, having my hand held with a tour guide. That just sucks. I cannot follow a tour for at all.
Because I say the same thing. Like, I've always wanted to go to Singapore. So when I got a chance to go to Singapore, I was like, once you've done, like, the main things, there ain't nothing else to do. It's like, once you've gone to, like, the ship hotel and you've sat down, overlooked the entire the city. You've gone to their botanical gardens that's there, which is beautiful. By the way, it is very beautiful. And you've gone to their huge, what are they called? The Mall of America their version of it. And then go to the beach. I mean, outside of eating food, different food, there ain't nothing else to do.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I like the different cultures, and I can care less about seeing other, it's when I went to Rio, like that story, I went to Rio de Janeiro. And so I was lucky enough where I had my buddy and the person who's married who were both bilingual. They spoke Portuguese as well as English. Rio is not a place you can just land and go. It's a dangerous place. It is. Yeah. And so you can do one of two things. If you go there and you don't know what you're doing, you go to the gringo bars. That's where a bunch of white English-speaking Americans go to bars and restaurants. Mm-hmm. You can get Domino's pizza if you want. You know, but why go to Rio to get Domino's?
Right.
Like, why go anywhere? And so luckily that's a place where, you know, I got the backdoor seat where you have the Portuguese, you know, people who speak Portuguese, and you can see the other sites, the sites that you don't know of. The locals can take you and go to like this bar over here, or this place, this restaurant over here. Otherwise, what's like you said with Singapore, you're just hitting the 5 places that are safe and you know of, and then you're just done.
Yeah.
You know, and that's nothing wrong with that. Oh. But I want more. Like I said, if I can do that at my house, my home, I can go see a bunch of Americans. I can do that across the street right now.
Yeah, because
go to Rio to drink beer with
while I was there, I mean that's what I saw the bulk. I didn't see too many black guys there, but while I was there, that's what I saw the bulk of. Is just regular white Americans.
Yeah.
I mean, I went other places outside of the city. I'm an explorer. I have no fear of nothing. I mean, nobody's trying to kidnap a brother. They think we poor, so I'm like, I'm not worried about that. It was the same in the Dominican Republic. People was like, "Oh my God, you can't leave outside the resort because you got to worry about crime." I never had any problems. I ate at local restaurants, and I guess because I looked like them, nobody really bothered me. So I guess it's one of my perks. But yeah, I mean, I can honestly say that place. And since we're talking about countries, you can't make a whole week vacation out of that place. Because, I mean, once you've seen the main attractions, only thing you're doing is like eating. The food is good. Eating food. Only other place I always talk about it. Everybody always hear me talk about it in my shows and stuff is Portugal. I want to go back to Portugal again. I went to Lisbon, but there's a lot more to see in Portugal. Portugal, it was way too much. It was too much to where I couldn't fit it all. I was there for a week. I couldn't fit it all in a week. Wow. Now that one I would like to go back to because I'm a big history person.
Yes.
And I'm like, they have like in their little Times Square, they have all the monuments and statues there, all the different down the little the cobblestone streets, different bars and restaurants you can go to, or shopping like independent stores and stuff. And then they have, it's like 7 or 8 different castles across the mountain. Like I went to the biggest one they had at the top of this mountain, but they still had like 7 to 8 more that you could go to and visit. Now it was way too much stuff to see in a week's time frame, which inspires you to come back to see more. And the food there is very good. The food there is very good.
Yeah, I'm going for the food, by the way. Yeah, I'm trying everything.
Same here.
Yeah,
I'm trying to add on 10 more pounds when I travel places like that.
Yeah, I show no mercy to my credit card. I don't care. Like, I bring it to me. Like, oh, that beer costs $30. I want to know what a $30 beer tastes like. You know? Give me. But I'm with you also the history too. Like, where I just, I want to see. I like seeing like the live history, especially when you go to like Europe, where you see all those like in America, it's a known kind of meme almost where like that building's old. It's been there for 60 years. Like where you go there, like their buildings have been there for a millennia.
I'm like 60 years is nothing.
And that's just their average residential like neighborhood. That's been there forever. And so that stuff is fascinating. I love that stuff. And seeing castles and. That was the thing when I went to Ireland and I realized how stupid I am. I was American stupid. I call it Skyrim stupid on this. It's kind of a thing I've talked about. I went to a castle. I didn't understand why it didn't look like Skyrim. I'm like, why? Oh yeah, like it's all hollow. Why does it look like Skyrim? Like, oh yeah, that's right. Because the outside is stone, and then they make it out of wood. Okay.
On the inside, yeah.
I was like, why are they not just everything stone steps? Just like expecting like stone tables and stone chairs and everything's like padded out.
It's still nice though. Like to see the architecture behind. Like I'm amazed by stuff like that, and to see that it's still standing. Yeah, they have to do some added work to it, but to see that it's still standing and we can't replicate that today. To me, that's like the most amazing thing.
Absolutely. Just seeing all those things, like seeing what they did, it's amazing. Like nowadays, like we're so spoiled with just information. Like how to synthesize information. Like, and we have these things in our pockets that does everything for us. Just even doing arithmetic. Like imagine just 100 years ago, you didn't have a calculator, and you're trying to build a subway from New Jersey to New York underwater. That amazes me. If they did it today, that'd be amazing. They did it over 100 years ago.
Yep. They had sewage. I mean, because you had to think about it too. Like where I was at too, like they had a mountain at the top of the a castle at the top of the freaking mountain, and then they had walls protecting them from people below that you could walk across. And they had a sewage system up there. I'm like, do you know the doggone engineering that it took to get water to come up into the castle?
Right.
For them to be able to flush stuff out. I was like, oh my God. It's, to me, that I love that more than anything.
Yeah. Then you look at the documentary Fire Festival, like, wow.
Yeah, oh my God, Fire Festival. Yeah, oh my God. I'm glad he's not doing any more festivals.
I love toilets, man.
Yes.
That's how spoiled I am. We were like evacuating from so many hurricanes in Southeast Georgia when I lived in St. Simons. I'm like, I'm not coming back until the toilet flushes. Yeah. I'm not taking a dump in the backyard.
I think you have some of the greatest inventions is the toilet and then the air conditioner.
Air conditioner.
I mean, those two things, coming from the South, those are two things that I cannot live with. And I grew up in heat. Yeah. And I do not like sleeping in heat. I don't like going to bed wet and waking up wet unless it's for the right reasons. And I don't enjoy that at all. Right.
I'm the same way, man. Like the AC, like I'm actually, I'd rather sweat than shiver as a general rule. Like no one's comfortable in 98 degree weather, no one's comfortable in 40. I can still be functional outside if it's hot. But when I'm sleeping, it can't be cold enough. It cannot be cold enough. Like when I'm sleeping, I just.
What do you consider cold?
All right. Well, for like sleeping, it's got to be in the 60s, right?
That's reasonable. Yeah.
To be comfortable. Like I can deal with. Basically, my benchmark is 73. Is like as hot as I'll let it
hot
be for sleeping. For sleeping.
Yeah. For sleeping, yes.
But like as the way I say it, like I used to play golf and do things outside, and like I said before, like I could ride when I lived on the beach. I could ride a bike. I could do things outside. I'm not comfortable in 98 degree weather. It's hot. It's miserable. It's awful. But I'm still riding a bike. I'm still doing stuff. I can still do things. But like it gets below 50, I ain't doing nothing outside.
I don't mind that at all either. It burns.
It just it's me and my remote control. That's it.
Yeah, I don't mind getting out. And now when it was like, 12 last week, I'm not doing anything 12 degrees outside. Yeah. I'm not doing that. But yeah, if it's like in the 30s or the 40s, I'll still go up Stone Mountain. I mean, I still go walk around. But if it's freezing cold, no, I'm not built like y'all Northerners. I'm not doing that.
And I'm griping. Like I still remember. I think it was 2 years ago with a wind chill, like in Minnesota, it got to -70. Yeah. It's cold where the temperature can go up 100 degrees and you're still not at freezing yet. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. I know it was even looking up because I was trying to figure out like where the hell the New Year's resolutions even come from. Like who even started that? I did not. Do you know who before I say it?
It's like a 6,000 year like history. I think it started with the Greeks.
The Babylonians.
That's right. The Babylonians, right? Yeah. From 4000 BC.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, I know everything, has some paganism behind it, but I didn't know that it originated from them. And they actually did it for rituals and stuff.
Right.
Whereas us, I mean, I guess you could say it's a ritual, but people don't see it as a ritual. It's just them setting a freaking goal for the year.
Well, it's like you said, it's like, all of pagan iconography or symbolism, like almost every holiday, right? I can't think of one right now where it's completely bastardized from what it was before, like whether it be, called the Hallmark holidays like St. Valentine's Day, which is complete horseshit. Yeah. Like that was a commercial. It was just a great commercial.
There was no St. Valentine's.
Say Christmas. This might offend a lot of folks or religious folks, but that was just taken over from the winter solstice.
Oh yeah, it was orgy.
Yeah, It was that, but all it was like, the reason why it's the 25th, it's 4 days after the shortest day of the year. And they're like, thank God the sun's not going out.
Yeah.
Like it started to come back because the days started getting longer again because they were afraid. They were, primitive folks were like, oh, the day's getting shorter. That means the sun's going to disappear. That sun that's rotating around the Earth. It's going away. And then after 4 days, they realized, oh, the sun's going to stick around. All right. Celebrate. Let's fuck.
And that's exactly what was happening. Yeah. I mean, it was other stuff they was doing too because of the solstice, but yeah, to me, it was a lot of playing going on.
Oh yeah, I mean, pretty much that's like Freud said. Why do we do anything? Sex. That's.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it as long as the party is willing. There's nothing wrong with it.
That's why I wear my hat backwards. That's why you're wearing a red shirt.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we're doing it.
So as we wind down, you excited about anything this year? Outside of vacations and stuff, like anything else that's exciting you?
Luckily it's between election years, so it's gonna be a little more low stress. So that's fun. I want to be less stressed, and but right now, honestly, what I'm stressed about, even as I just say that, is I went to school at University of Georgia, so Monday's national championship game, man. I know that's not a good answer to that question for the full year, but like I went to school at University of Georgia, so in 5 days we got a thing going on
in LA, where there's a lot of flooding.
Well, there's flooding everywhere, so that's all right. Climate change, baby, it's a real thing.
It is very real. So before I get on my little thing and close out, I watched this YouTuber. He was like, I guess his backyard meteorologist. Like he threw out a ton of data about the storms and stuff that's been coming through. Like it's heating up coming in, this heat wave coming in from the Gulf and pushing all this heat energy all from the east all the way up to the north. And then this strong precipitation coming in from the West Coast. And then of course another, what is it? Solar vortex coming through from Washington or Canada all the way down, and then it's supposed to be meeting halfway between the country, like Oklahoma places, and then starting major thunderstorms and torrential downpours. And then he said this weekend, because of all the precipitation that's building up over in the ocean next to California, they have the ocean river that's going to come through and drop off. I had never heard of a river ocean or whatever, a cloud ocean or river.
I forget what's called. Like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like, yeah.
And I've never heard it before. And it dumps off a ton of water. Right. So I'm thinking, yeah, man, there's another YouTuber out here making content. Even though he had a lot of data. Like it looked beautiful, all the stuff he presented. And sure enough, it wasn't even 2 hours later, freaking flooding in San Francisco. It was flooding everywhere all over California. And then a couple of days, and then next day after that, all the thunderstorms and stuff started coming through. So, what are you talking about? So I'm like, so then it's getting snow again in Buffalo because of the polar vortex coming back through again.
That's the thing, man. It's like it's a real thing. A buddy of mine, I was like, I talked to him. He moved up to Chicago just a few months ago, and he saw about the flooding. And people don't realize, like, because we're distracted by whatever, like by The Mandalorian or whatever, or Kim Kardashian. What it is, we're constantly like looking at different things, but. Like, how many once-in-a-lifetime floods have happened the past 2 or 3 years in America? Like 3 of them happened in South Carolina to Oklahoma to Kentucky to Indiana. Like, never happened before, and it's happening all the time now. And so it's like, like don't live in the basement. That's all I'm saying. If you're looking for a place to live, there's a reason why it doesn't cost anything to live in the bottom floor. And it doesn't matter where you're at.
No, it's been bad everywhere. Like you look at some of the pictures from out of Buffalo and the house next to Lake Erie. It looks like something out of a freaking horror movie.
Oh yeah, I got scared when I left when I just left this past week. Because record lows. It was in single digits in Atlanta. And two things happened. One was I left my garage door open, so I got a call from the manager like, oh shit. My PlayStation 5 is in danger. Oh no. I was so meticulous. I did the right thing though. I kept my heat on at like 67, and then I had dripping water. I kept my faucets dripping, and I ran into someone. Apparently, like there's 3 apartments in my building, and it's 6 apartments, 3 stories, so 3 stories. Half of them got flooded.
Oh no!
Like pipes burst. Mine was not one of them. And like these were not bottom floor, the 2nd and 3rd floor apartments too. So like I can only imagine like walking in that stuff, and that's just a problem for everybody. Just like oh god, that was another pile of stress this past week. Never mind the airport security.
Yeah, they had it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I didn't go into this year with a whole bunch of hope and aspiration. I mean, hell, I came into it down because a lot of stuff has been, especially dealing with work and stuff. But no, I mean, my attitude's kind of changed around a little bit. So I'm excited about everything that we have planned, even outside of stuff we already talked about, just looking at the potential of things to come.
Yeah.
And people to potentially meet. And then talking to my therapist at the first part of this year, she kind of helped out. That's a good way to usher in the year. Y'all need to, if you don't have a therapist, you need to find one and get a good one.
I'm pro therapy for sure, but that's hard. Like it's hard finding a good one. It's like any other people, right? Like finding a mechanic or finding a heart surgeon, like finding anybody. Like all right, like there are people like anyone else. You got to find the good one, and those are hard to find.
Yeah, they are. Because mine, Dr. Tia, she's wonderful. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's just I'm excited about doing something different than what I did last year.
Yeah, and
hopefully throwing all these things on the wall. Something sticks, and pretty soon I'm not going to put that out there because I don't want my job. I'm not going to say that at all. I'm not going to speak to it. But yeah, no, just putting something out there. Eventually it grows to what I'm looking for and clearly what you're looking for too.
Yeah.
And I can take this on the road.
Yeah, so. I like it.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, we just want to have a catch-up episode. And yeah, stay tuned for the in-person studio audience. So a date has been set for February 11th at noon. I guess we'll say this. It'll be streamed live for Patreon subscribers. So Patreon is being built out now. So I will go ahead and just clarify that now. It will be live for Patreon subscribers. Everybody else, if you can't make it to the show in person, you have to catch it on the next go around. We have to catch the rerun, like we talking about reruns. So I don't know how old y'all, if y'all remember reruns. You have to catch rerun on Fridays. All of our shows now, I'm saying this live on this first show, all Friday shows now will be published every Friday, first thing in the morning between 8 and 9 o'clock. So you can catch every episode going out for the rest of this year, unless something happens, at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, including the in-person studio audience show. So y'all stay tuned for that. I have some great guests lined up, two guests lined up for the first 2 episodes. So, stay tuned for it. We are taking donations. I'm taking donations. I am taking donations. So if you have anything you want to contribute towards the show, we greatly appreciate it. I've been doing it for 2 years now, so I'm dedicated to it. I'm serious about it. You can cash out me, all those things. Oh, they're not out there yet. They will be out there. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I'm glad to see John back and he made it back safely. I hope everybody had a great end of year last year. I know last year wasn't the greatest for a lot of people. I know we're going to this year with people having layoffs and whatnot from these corporations laying people off due to so-called recession. And I don't believe it's a recession because if people have money, if companies have money to spend and we have money to give to other countries as a government, then I don't believe in this so-called recession. So yeah, that's my final thought. I hope everybody's starting this year off safely. And my heart and soul goes out to, what is his name? DeMille, the football player with Buffalo.
Yeah, Hamil. I want to say Hamill is his last name.
Yeah, Hamill. That passed out, and I mean he's still in critical condition, but they say that he's on the positive side of it, so he's coming out. So yeah, thoughts and prayers and good energy goes out to him. John, you got something you want to finish out with?
No, just looking forward to this year. Looking forward to the live show, the new studios. Like I said, we're I know that you're working your ass off on it, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we got in store for this year, and it'll be exciting. And actually, like you already have, I know a couple of people lined up for some interviews, so I think we're gonna have some interesting conversations in the future. So that's what I'm looking forward to as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And alcohol will be served.
Excellent.
Alcohol will be served. Yeah, I'm trying to do something a little different. Everybody has their little niche on their shows. Like, who is it? Like Kevin Hart. I don't know if you ever seen Kevin Hart's.
Yeah.
He has a talk show. He's in a winery. I love that. Like, I love that eclectic look of it. And then who else? What's it? The guy was on Netflix and he interviewed President Obama, a lot of other people too. David Letterman. David Letterman's his show and his setup. It is beautiful.
He's one of my spirit guys. Him and George Carlin. I just watched a great interview with him in Ukraine. God, man, but shows up.
Zelensky.
Yeah. God, that's low hanging fruit. But he's awesome. He's one of the best interviewers out there. Like he just is. He's just very skilled, and I love that setup as well. That's it's good to see. Those are some inspiring folks as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at, like when I want to have, for my studio set and stuff. So, and then just have some, have a good drink. This isn't like having a conversation and drink to go along with it. And if you don't drink, we'll have some Welch's grapefruit juice for you.
Well, duels, like
right.
Like the chicken wing show that has like the vegan nuggets. All right, whatever the guest wants, you guys get.
So thank you, John, again. Thank y'all for tuning in, and hope y'all have a safe first party week. Love you all. Peace out.
I be shining perfect timing. Check your watch, and I know who I am. I am no longer lost.